Welcome back to ESA Winter 22. This event, we're raising money for Alzheimer's Fondant. Links to donate can be found below the stream. We would also like to thank ClearStart. Check out their line of products in the panel below the stream. ViewSonic Gaming for their monitors this event. Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch, a new Metroidvania game out now for PC, PS4, and PS5. And Twitch. All right, now it's time for PokerFacowaty running Sammy Suricate in Lionland. Take it away.
Hello,
Hiya.
I'm Poker. That's Ridden.
Hi,
Jeez.
I'm Rhythm. That's poker.
Ridden has run this game for virtually every marathon in existence, I think, so far. But
Except ESA?
no, ESA. It was at ESA once. At one
There's
of the
been too many.
one of the
Anyway.
only ones, probably. You're pretty burned out already. So I decided I would take the lead now and submit this. So
And I'll just sit from the sidelines and laugh at poker.
Yeah, exactly, and bully me for not using some struts. We're going to start right ahead. Timing starts when you
When you click,
when
yeah.
you click, because we have an auto splitter. I have no clue when this thing starts. So we'll go with the tutorial in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
Woo!
Okay. The first thing I do is actually leave. But in reality, I'm leaving the level while holding the escape button because that turns off all the AI of all the enemies, which is pretty cool, honestly. Like
Pretty useful.
pretty PogChamp, yeah.
So you
Okay,
may
cool,
notice
nice.
some
So-
funky things happening.
Yeah. What I'm doing right now is what I did is called a Wormy jump because of the person who found it. Shoutouts to Wormy. We delay. What I just did was I delayed the jump with the M button, which changes the music. And right now we're going to use the delay to do this. Whoa! First try, nice.
Nice.
So this is pretty random. Sometimes it just doesn't work. You just don't go through the door instead of like you bonk your head onto it. What I just did is called a gem clip. It's pretty random. It's only used a couple times throughout the run. At one particular place it can be a run killer because we don't really know what actually makes you clip, like how to do it consistently. But in general, it's something to do with the collision with the big diamonds. So normally I would have to go through the tutorial that shows me how to mix the diamonds and open various doors, but we just ignored it pretty much. You can skip this level with a okay. Another thing we can do is a throw clip. So I just throw this wasp and spam the music change button, and this happens, which is pretty much Sammy ignores walls and gets warped into the level exits.
Yeah, the tutorial is very good at showing off pretty much all the tech
Yeah.
that gets used throughout the run. So the explanations are a bit hectic because it all comes in like 5 seconds and then the next tech in 5 seconds.
This is another level that I'm going to do casually, which is just like pretty much just fully the intended way. The reason being, the only way to skip this level that we know of so far, as with the other one that I did casually, is to lion clip, which is consistent. That's entirely the reason behind why I'm not doing it. You just need to push the lion into a certain spot, and then just walk forward and pray you end up in the lion, because the lion that will then push you into a wall. Which sounds extremely consistent considering, like, you know, the lions just walk whatever.
Well, their pathing is consistent. So.
Another trick that's not really a trick because the only thing I do is a jump. It's more like an environmental thing. This just happens. So if you have I don't know, a ceiling, a wall that's...
It's like a slope that's going downwards that you can
above
jump
you.
into. Yeah.
It's
Sammy just ends up in the collision, and as you have seen plenty of times already, when Sammy ends up inside collision, he just gets zipped up to the top.
yeah, the same happens here.
Yep.
Let's go.
It's the same glitch. It's the wall was sort of sloped downwards.
Then a very simple wasp clip, and we're at the end of the tutorial pretty much.
Yeah, and this
That's
is the last bit of tech that hasn't been shown off yet.
Yeah, camera zip.
Yeah, so we've been zipping with gems, with wasps, with slopes. Now we can zip with the camera as well because, you know, It's an object.
Okay, so that's 1/3 of the game done. Not time-wise, but like content-wise, I guess.
Yeah, it's 12 of the 36 levels.
That's 12 of the
already
36
gone
levels.
in 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Not bad.
So we start the think and run. No, that's jump and run.
That's jump and run.
Jump and run part of the run. Later on we'll have the think and run levels. They don't really require a lot of. Did I turn off AI?
Yes, you did.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Normally the lions would chase me, and they're really annoying to deal with. That might not work. Yeah.
Thank goodness
The lions.
for quick saving and quick loading, by the way.
Oh yeah, the lions are really annoying if you have the AI on. They chase you really quickly. They're quicker than you, so it's very annoying. Here
Let's
you
do
just
this door.
go left and right, and eventually you get warped up like this.
Why not?
There used to be an alternative strat. This is actually the first level that I managed to skip when playing the game casually. I've been in this game, I mean, we've been in this game since the very beginning. It's just written join later on actually running full game. But,
Yeah, poker kind of kickstarted the Sammy community, so to say.
yeah, and
I
I've been
was
here.
one of the people who like joined when it was mostly routed, and then broke it in half again.
Yeah, because,
Oops.
okay, this is the reason. Normally, you want to slow down your PC, like actually find the setup that works for you, but generally slow down your CPU because otherwise gem clips and throw clips or wasp clips don't work. And this is the reason why you cannot slow it down too much, because if you do, this trick doesn't work. Oh,
Shoutouts to the janky laptop that I have that works perfectly for this.
okay, not if you screw it up, but generally,
Unless your name is poker.
unless your name is poker, but generally, Ritten's laptop,
maybe
this won't work.
Eh?
Awesome.
Alright.
Tried like literally 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, you're too far right, I think.
Okay, yeah, I'm climbing the wrong wall. But the general idea is if your PC is running like a normal speed, this will be super speedy. But if you slow it down too much,
Yeah.
this won't work at all. And Sammy just won't climb and will get stopped at like halfway through, I guess.
Yeah, so if your PC is good, that trick is free. If your PC is good enough for the other glitches in this, then it's hard.
Here we just run into this wall.
Yeah, that wall is a sloped.
Here we
sloped
have,
wall again.
technically we have the other, like the entire level to do, but we don't really care about that and just camera zip to the top.
Yeah, as you may notice throughout this run, we don't really care what the developers intended us to do. We just kind of go to the end.
Yeah, because of mostly the throw clips, the run has become pretty trivial, so to speak. I mean,
Yeah, it's
most of the
much
levels
easier.
are just skipped by getting a wasp and then getting to the end and just flying through a wall using the wasp clip. So because of that, I like kind of started running a different category, which doesn't have like a proper name that would actually mean something, because the current name is very long. It's no lion clips, no gem clips, no
throw clips.
no throw clips, but it's generally like all levels without all the stuff that I don't like.
Which is the best way to make a category.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a lot of fun because it's more like diverse, I guess. But this is fun for different reasons. This skips a lot of pretty much most of the levels by throw clips, and that kind of makes it so that if you find the setup that works for you, where throw clips actually work, this game becomes pretty easy. We've managed. Shoutouts to Robs the dude who who DM'd me on Discord when I was already here and said he wants to learn Sammy. Then we like embraced him with
Yeah,
Written
literally.
for about an hour and a half, and the world record in this game is like sub 9 minutes, and I would say he would like easily do like sub 15 first run. So I don't know if he's talented. He probably is, but I think this game is just not very hard to pick up if you want to have some fun with it. So shoutouts to all one cyclers. So this level is actually used to like this is pretty much the only way to skip this level in its entirety. I guess you could you could also
Gem clip.
you could also gem clip, but before we knew gem clips and wasp clips were kind of found at the same time, like more or less. So
Ish, yeah.
before-ish. So
Yeah,
before
we had a route with just gem clips for a couple of weeks, and then yeah, throw
Okay.
clips were discovered.
where me jump again? Not quite.
And did you disable AI?
I did.
You did.
Because I had to change the
Yeah.
camera. Now like this. There we go.
Warming jumps are kind of finicky.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's a pretty tight timing.
What
it's the
we
best
said
of-
earlier is the last. What am I doing? The level that the last level of the second part of the game is something that's actually pretty tricky because you slide a lot, and sliding isn't very. Like, generally, movement in this game is very janky if you're playing it for the first time.
If you couldn't tell.
I've played this for 80. I've played this for about 100 hours, which, you know, considering that runs are about 10 minutes, it's kind of a lot,
Yeah.
quite a lot. So I have a kind of a feeling for the movement, I guess, a bit at least. But Z12, because the abbreviations for levels are made from Polish names. So I'm sorry, but the second part of the game is called like Z. So Z12, which I did, is pretty hard to do in one cycle. There is a platform there that moves in cycles, and if you do it so that you make it there, you make it to the end in just one cycle of the platform, then good for you. That's not as easy. So shoutouts to everyone who can do it. Right here, because I disabled AI, I can do this, which is just jump twice on this thing, which then launches me forward, upward.
Yeah, the main effect.
And then
of
just
the,
screw it up completely, like classic, yeah.
The main effect of the pause glitch is to disable AI, but it also messes with the elevators. It has been mostly routed out. That route is also a bit, maybe not slower, but outdated for other reasons.
You can skip, actually, if you really want to shave off the last seconds, I guess. You can skip disabling AI for this entire part, but in return, the escalator thing won't work because it only works if you. Also, there were no zips so far, so here's a zip, like a classic zip, that used to be a thing a lot in the old routes, but it's
the longest zip in the game.
the longest zip in the game. This is the thing that actually kills runs, so hopefully it works properly.
Yeah, and of course, we, the smart runners, put it at the end of the run.
Of course.
That's a bit far, maybe? Oh, okay. Well, I guess I don't know.
I don't think I've ever had it first time.
I've hit it the first time a couple of times, but yeah, it's very difficult.
Okay.
Or maybe not difficult, but random.
Yeah, it's very random. Skill has nothing to do with it, honestly.
Some skill to it. So, speaking of random...
The spawns? Oh,
yeah.
2 in a row, okay.
So, these bugs you throw in sets of 3, and we need to do 2 throws. One to break a barrier and another to clip. So you need to collect 4 of them, and they spawn completely randomly.
And it was a really bad set of spawns, I guess.
Yeah, that was very unlucky.
So we just get a single green. No, I just didn't.
Get a blue.
I pick up the red one, which in return didn't give me the blue one because it just mixed into a purple one. Okay.
So this is probably the coolest wasp clip
Yeah.
in the run.
Yeah.
So the way zipping works is it, like, whenever you're in collision, it sends you upwards, and it's dependent on the frame rate. So by continuing to lower the frame rate by swapping out the music, you can actually stay inside the collision at a similar height for longer. So we do this through this whole bit of ground to get into this underground room that has the exit.
Yeah, if you screw it up in the middle of doing it, you get zipped upwards because all we're doing with changing the music right now, spamming the music change button is. There we go. Okay,
There you go,
nice. We're just like blocking the upward movement. So if you just let go of it at some point, you get just worked up.
Yeah, exactly.
This is also a pretty funny level, I guess. Like, I guess all of them are.
This is my favorite route, probably. I have no real good reason for it. It's just like really fun.
Okay, and we are in the last level, actually.
Yeah, so time is coming up shortly, depending
Yep.
on how curious it.
Yeah, so there's a setup for this, but it's pretty much placebo. So
Yeah, this is a camera zip that just never works. So watch him get it first try.
not
Not
really.
quite.
This might work. No, bro. I kind of like judge if it's gonna work by how Sammy's head is positioned, I guess.
Yeah, so shout out to Kira for finding this and ruining everyone's hopes and dreams.
Yeah. Because the old setup for like actually doing this level was fully consistent from what I remember.
Yeah, it was slow, but it was consistent.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so time is in like 3 seconds. Whenever Sammy touches the exit, time.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, 1324 is actually. Oh, we have the time here too. 1324 is pretty good.
Yeah, that's a very solid time, especially for a marathon.
So that was Sammy. It was very quick. I know there were a couple times where we just picked up an explanation and just didn't finish it because there was a new thing on the way, but hopefully it wasn't too chaotic. So thank you to all the people. There were a lot of people who contributed to this run because I just started this game on the Discord server going live, and a lot of people just kept asking like, can you zip here? Can you zip there? Can you give me the zip file with the game? And a lot of people, a lot of seemingly random people just found random skips. So this went from being a 40-minute run into being sub 9 minutes. So yeah, it's a great game. If you want to pick it up, we have a Discord. So you know all that jazz probably. The speedrun.com website.
Speedrun.com/Sammy.
Yes, shoutouts to the entire community. Thank you very much. If you have anything to say, that's all from our side.
All right, thank you so much, Poker. That was absolutely fantastic and enjoy to watch. All right, as a small announcement, we hit a fabulous number in donations, $44,444. So a nice even amount. And we have a couple of donations. Speaking of a couple of people that you mentioned, we have $35 from Worm with no comment, but they put their donation towards Final Fantasy any % character name Worm. And we also have $10 from Rob's the Dude. Poker taught me this super fun game 2 days ago at ESA venue, so now I want to give something. To take my money towards this great cause. Good luck and have fun with the run. And they put their money towards the Solar Ash any % true ending. And finally, $25 from Michelle. It says Umbrella is fun. And they put $20 of their money towards Death Doors any % versus boss, and $5 to Solar Ash any % true ending. So we appreciate everything, all the donations. Thank you for getting us this far to $44,444. We're looking forward to much more, and thank you so much. Coming up next, we have Makabaka and KZ Fru running Miami Vice.
Dancing
ESA
Duck.
Winter 22 rolls on after this.